Army Generals oramba nauye kuchinjwa kwebumbiro remutemo renyika yeZimbabwe pasina referendum rekubva kumacitizen enyika yeZimbabwe zvaziviswa zvichitenderedzwa munyika yeZimbabwe zvichinzi retired Army Generals have urged Parliament to put Constitutional Amendment Bill number 3 of 2026 to a referendum. Kusangana kwatinoita pana pachannel yenyu Magaba News, where we give you the trending news which is happening in Zimbabwe. If you are new here, kindly support us nekuba button rakanzi subscribe nekutena notification bell. Zuva ranhasi nhau dzatauya takabata ndedzekubva kumakuru vemauto maarmy generals vasumuka vachiramba chiitiko chiri kurongwa neZanuPF chinova chakataurwa zvakare navapo mangwana vachiti hapana referendum rinodiwa pakuwedzera kuti vamunangagwa vasvike 2030. So mauto they urge that changes to the constitution should be decided by the people, sitting at the principle that power comes from the people. The generals reference the 2000 Constitutional Commission document, which was rejected in a referendum as an example of democracy in action. They oppose parliamentary vote for the president, saying it undermines universal suffrage and one man, one vote. The generals also highlights their duty to uphold the constitution as amended by section 212 and warn against attempts to alter these without public approval. The claims a stake in ZanuPF direction, calling themselves stakeholders. Muri Zimbabwe mauto osumuka akajamuka. Veruzhinji vaibvunza kuti sei mauto akanyarara zvoziviswa zvichitenderedzwa munyika yeZimbabwe. Akunzi mauto akanyora tsamba achiendesa kuparliament kuna vakuru kuparliament kwakaziviswa kunzi vanhu ndavanyore tsamba ichiuya kuparliament dzichitariswa kunzi vanhu vari kubvumirana nekushinjwa kwebumbiro remutemo here. Poziviswa kunzi musi wa12 March 2026 apo kuparliament kwakatambirwa tsamba yakabva kune vakuru vemauto vakasiyana siyana vanosanganisira Air Marshal Henry Muchena vanova vakataura vachiisa petition kuparliament vachiramba kumbunyikidzwa kuruda kuti kwakodzero dzemunyika yeZimbabwe kudzvanyirwa kuda kuti constitution yemunyika yeZimbabwe ende pari kuziviswa kunzi vakuru vemauto vakawanda vakazivisa vachinyora tsamba vachiendesa kuparliament zvichisanganisira war veteran pamwe chete senior civil servants. Vanhu ivavo vakanyora tsamba vakabatana nemauto vachiendesa kuparliament vachiramba vachiti kuchinjwa kwebumbiro remutemo ndakubve kusimba revanhu. Zvinhu izvi ndezvevanhu hazvisi zvehurumende yeZanuPF chete. According to news, the group of retired Zimbabwean military commanders and senior civil servants, many of them Liberation War veterans, have formerly petitioned Parliament to submit the proposed Constitutional Amendment Bill number 3 of 2026 to a national referendum. The group urged that a major change to the country's constitution should be decided directly by the citizen rather than solely by lawmakers. The submission was made in a letter dated 12 March 2026 addressed to the Clerk of Parliament and at the Parliament building in Mount Abden. The group is represented by retired Air Marshal Henry Muchena, who spoke on behalf of a signatory call for citizens to decide. In their petition, the retired commanders urged Parliament to allow Zimbabweans to vote directly on the proposed amendment. Their submission came in a response to Parliament intervention for public inputs under section 328(4) of the Constitution of Zimbabwe, which require lawmakers to gather public views when considering constitutional amendment. We write to you today not as rebels, not as dissenters, and not as enemies of the party to which we have given our entire lives. The letter reads, we speak as men who were representing when this nation was being born in blood and fire. Our power derives from the people. The retired general referred the founding philosophy of ZanuPF, urging that the liberation movement was built on the principle that sovereignty belongs to the people. According to the letter, the liberation struggle emphasizes popular participation and the idea that citizens must choose their leaders. The veteran cited the historic slogan from the 1970s or War of Independence, highlighting a message that emphasizing people's power and the collective political decision-making. They said the guiding principle of the struggle was clear, that people belong to the people and must remain in their hands. A concern about parliamentary decision making, and the group warned that allowing members of parliament to determine constitutional changes relating to the president could undermine universal suffrage. They questioned whether the lawmaker should decide on behalf of Zimbabweans, estimated 17 million citizens, on such fundamental issues. The letter suggests that relying solely on parliament voters in such matters could resemble a past system where a limited group determined political outcome. The veterans also referred the era of a minority rule in Rhodesia under Ellen Smith, urging that system where a small political class make decisions for the majority contradict the ideals that guided the independence struggle. Reference to the 2000 referendum, the retired commanders pointed to the 2000 Zimbabwean constitutional referendum as an example of citizen direct shaping the country's constitutional path. In that vote, Zimbabweans rejected a draft constitution produced by a government-appointed commission. The veterans said the outcome demonstrated how referendums can reflect the will of the electorate. That was democracy in action. The submission stated nothing that the results showed the importance of allowing citizens to determine constitutional matters. Defense of the constitution order. The group also cited section 212 of the Constitution of Zimbabwe, which outlined the role of the Zimbabwe Defense Force in the protecting the countries and safeguarding the constitutional order. They urged that when the constitution was adopted during the 2013 Zimbabwe constitutional referendum, citizens gave institutions such as the defense forces a mandate to defend its principles. According to the letter, constitutional change affecting fundamental governance issues should therefore involve direct approval from the electorate. Stakeholders in the country, stakeholders in the ruling party, the signatory also described themselves as a long-standing stakeholders, with ZanuPF stating that their participation in the liberation struggle give them a continuity interest in the party's direction. We are also stakeholders in ZanuPF. The letter stated, adding that they believe they have a responsibility to contribute to discuss about the nation's constitutional future. Final appeal to the parliament. The retired general concluded their submission by urging parliament to place a constitutional amendment bill number 3 before the electorate in a national referendum. Their message to lawmakers was straightforward: allow Zimbabwe to decide the effect of the proposed constitutional change themselves. The people must decide. The letter concluded calling on parliament to submit the bill to the people of Zimbabwe to vote for or against it. Muri Zimbabwe ndona wiri kubuda ndo mashoko ari kubuda mauto otaura achiti hurumende yava munhu akagwana ZanuPF hatusi kukupikisa asi tiri kuti ipai masimba kuvanhu. Vanhu ndivo vanosarudza zvavanoda. Zvarakidza kuti ZanuPF nemadhays ayasarwa nawo tikuziva kuti kwasara 60 days kuti nhau idzi dzichipedzwe kufambirwa, sezvo vari kuita maconsultation vachiti vanhu nyorai zvichemo zvenyu. So mauto pamwe chete vakabatana nemawo veteran varinyora tsamba vachiendesa kuparliament inova iri kutungamirwa nemukuru wemauto vanova air marshal Elni Muchena, vanova vanyora tsamba vachitungamira mauto kuti tiri kuzviramba zvekuti pasaitwe zvisina referendum, ipai simba kuvanhu, ndivo vanosarudza zvavanoda. What's your take on this issue? What's your take on this news? Zvorakidza kuti hazvisisina kumira mushe mugango remutemo renyika yeZimbabwe. Hurumende yenyika yeZimbabwe ikaramba tsikirira panhau dzereferendum apa tiri kuona kuti chimoto chinogona kutanga munyika yezimbabwe nekuda kwekuti mauto mukaona zvopindurwa nemauto zvinenge zvisisina kumira zvakanaka. Ndidzo news dzatati kabata pana pachannel yenyu yeMagaba News.